when it comes to sex, here's some more information people just don't have. They did a study with 25-year-old boys, young men, and they measured their testosterone levels on the day when they're going to have sex with their partner. And then on Tuesday, say they did a Saturday night, then on Tuesday they have sex again. After each time having sex, it goes up while they're having sex, then it goes down to their baseline. Now, what we know about all men is every year their baseline goes down. But baseline, you have sex, go back to your baseline. Then on Tuesday, you have sex, goes back to your baseline. Then on Saturday, you wake up, you're at your baseline. Now, if you have sex on Saturday night and you don't have sex on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you abstain for 6 days from ejaculating. There is such a thing as making out and kissing and loving each other without ejaculating. That you can do to get this benefit. Because if you go for 6 days after ejaculation, on the 7th day, your testosterone levels go up 50%. It's like, then every time his testosterone goes up, anticipating you, he bonds with you. When his testosterone goes up and nothing happens inside of you, it goes the other direction. So what you want is not, this is all some science to help you understand why you don't want to go on a weekend with him and have sex 6 times. Because if you don't have a stable relationship where he's bonded in his heart, bonded in his mind, it means he likes the way you think. He likes having conversation with you. He likes listening to you. He may not talk that much, but he likes having interaction with you. And also emotionally, he does little things and gets rewarded for it. So he feels, I got a job that's high paying. I didn't have to work that hard and I get paid so much. Okay, he's got that as a bond because when he has sex, when he's turned on, he's bonding with you in that moment. But afterwards, biologically, it goes back to the basics, goes right down the baseline. And if he's not connected with you in his heart or in his mind, he's completely disconnected from you. And it feels like yuck. After a while, it just doesn't feel good. In the beginning, sex is massive dopamine stimulator because it's new. And
also, if the sex happens too early in a dating relationship, and, everyone has their definition of what that might be. You talked about being able to share your mind, being able to share your heart, your emotions. But men have told me that it makes it more difficult for them sometimes to really bond with a woman in these other ways, because then it becomes all about the sex. It becomes all about the physical, and they may not connect with her in the same way as they might have otherwise had they connected with her mentally and emotionally, or listened to her or gone into her in that way before the sex happened. And I sometimes call these little things like heart glimpses, like you want to give him a glimpse into your heart. Like I loved what you shared about sharing something like, oh, I put my foot in my mouth, or I was so embarrassed. That's showing vulnerability. That's also showing heart glimpse. In a way, it's kind of asking for support or help, like, oh, it's okay. We all do those kind of things from time to time, that kind of thing.
It's revealing. This is what turns men on. They bond with you. But if it's just sexual, afterwards, his testosterone just went down. It's interesting. If I do something have a good conversation with her, my testosterone doesn't go down afterwards. If I do something nice for her and she appreciates it, my testosterone doesn't go down. So, but when you have sex and you're a man and you ejaculate, you're done. You're done for several days. And also what happens is when you have sex without bonding first, okay, you're getting to know the person, whatever. If a man has sex, we'll take the extreme. If he has sex with a one-night stand, what happens in a one-night stand is different hormones get produced. Then if you bonded with a woman, you care for her, she's important to you, you enjoy her, all about her, and you have sex with her. After you ejaculate, something happens in your body. Your body produces a hormone called prolactin. Prolactin is actually a Venus hormone, but it's a prolactin suppresses his sexual desire. If he has sex without prolactin, then after having sex, he wants sex again with a new partner. He wants sex again with a new partner. It's literally like, well, if she didn't love you, because when he bonds with you, she's now bonding with him. Okay, you can't fully bond in your heart and when you bond with a man mentally and emotionally, it affects him biologically. Whereas if you just have sex with him, he doesn't make prolactin. Prolactin causes him to lose interest in having sex. that means he doesn't have sex with anybody else. But if he's making enough testosterone, he will want sex with you. Now, that's the problem with prolactin. You see couples who love each other a lot, they stop having sex because he's got so much prolactin inside of him from making love, ejaculating with someone who loves him. So you gave your energy to her, but she gave her energy to you. You love each other. It's a whole experience. And now you have prolactin, which will suppress your sexual desire. Now, how it does that is prolactin suppresses dopamine. See, the newness of a relationship, you automatically get dopamine. Now, what's the benefit of dopamine in the beginning of a relationship? It raises testosterone in men. It raises estrogen in women. If you have bonding, then your body makes prolactin. Your prolactin levels keep you from being addicted to sex. So you no longer have addiction to sex. But why do you want to keep having sex with your partner? Well, and that's inevitable because after a while, when you make love to your partner, it's your partner and you're committed, you're going to make prolactin. Also, you're going to have a lot of serotonin, which is ease and comfort. You don't have to go searching for another woman. So there's no new and different as familiarity sets in. So couples stop having sex. Now, what can keep the passion, unquenchable passion? This is like, for me, it doesn't go away. All she has to do is be in bed with me and I'm ready to go. Where does that come from? Because there's polarity. 2 ways to raise testosterone and estrogen in a woman. One way is just have new, different experiences, which is why, for sex therapists, there's a limit to their help, but they can be helpful. They'll say, go to a hotel, go do something, go on a vacation, go somewhere new and different. That newness, it's a good thing to do, will raise your dopamine. If suddenly your husband who never helps with housework and starts vacuuming, it will raise, it's new and different, but it will go away after a while.
Yeah, that'll turn a woman on.
Yes, it will turn. But once it becomes familiar, it's not going to do much. Okay. There's a spike in dopamine whenever your partner goes beyond your expectation, does something new and different. That's okay. These are all good things to do. But what really keeps it going, which is without dopamine, without depending on dopamine to feel masculine and for women to feel feminine, you have polarity. And polarity is where she is more feminine and he is more masculine. He's making a lot more male hormones than she is, and she's making a lot more female hormones than he's got. That's what creates the attraction. Even mentally, always agreeing with your partner will be boring. Having a different point of view. Often people say, we have to have harmony. You can have harmony and have different points of view. An idea that's foreign to our culture today with all the cancel culture. If you can't think what I think, then I'm going to disconnect, as opposed to having differences and blending those together. It's like, I don't need everything to be in agreement with me. And that's really, really important. We have to recognize what keeps relationships from thriving is our judgments. We get critical, we get judgmental, we think you should change, you're not good enough, you shouldn't think that way. We would have less of that tendency to try to change our partner if our hormones were more in balance. Okay, that means we have a sense of inner happiness, inner strength, and we don't have this neediness, which says it's not enough, it's not enough. Now, at the same time, there's a healthy version of not enough for women. The healthy version of women, when they're not enough, is ask for help. I'm not getting enough help. Okay. Now, there's a place when women don't feel that I have the help of a man, a partner who's committed to me, a partner who's there for me. When they don't have that in their life, what happens is their estrogen goes down, their testosterone goes up, and they disconnect with feeling I need help. Okay, I can do it myself. I do it myself, and I create a situation in my life where I have to do it myself. It's like you get caught into your own imbalance where now to keep it going, you have to do it. And even though I don't want to do it, I'd rather have somebody do it for me. I'd rather relax, have them do it for me sometimes, not all the time. I'm not saying just being weak and needy all the time and depending on men. It causes depression in women. And just as when men are not feeling needed, it causes depression in men. Any depressed man has low testosterone. If he's needed and can fulfill the goal, then his testosterone goes up and he feels alive. So it's always giving messages to men how they can be successful in applying themselves to provide little things for you, and then more for you, and then more for you, and then marriage or commitment first before you have sex. Then you get towards marriage, and long before you get married, just keep in mind your best negotiating power to set the boundaries in the relationship is before you get married. It's kind of unfair to have a guy who's like addicted to porn. He thinks it's all normal. Everybody's doing it. So what's the problem with it? And then you get married and now you sealed the deal. And then you say, but one red flag for me is porn. I know it's fun. I know it's enjoyable. I know it's natural. You see a naked woman, you get turned on. I'd like to be that naked woman. And as long as you have that, it's more addictive. And I feel disconnected from you. And there's nothing wrong with it. You're not bad for it. It's just for me to grow in love for you. I know that if you're doing porn, your energy's going there. It's not coming to me. You have to do it in a nice way, but you set the boundary and you try to set that boundary before marriage. If you are married, some women listening are married. So you say this to your husband. You say, I discovered that, when I know you're doing porn and there's nothing wrong with it, and it's natural for men to be turned on to women, but there's an insecurity inside of me that I know will keep me from growing in love for you. And I want to grow in love for you. I want to be that person for you.